Hey guys, welcome to the Art of Braids. I am your host, Karen Tenard, and I am here talking about the elevation of textured hair with the renowned hairstylist out in London, Dionne Smith. We'll be talking about styling icons, industry shifts, and inspiring the next generation. And I've watched many shows, many red carpets, and one of them that stuck out is Queen Charlotte, who basically on her personal side, like just from the movie, but to the red carpet. Like the red carpet looks still give like these elements of like stepping outside of the comfort zone, but it's so eloquently done. And who we have here today is Dionne Smith, who is behind those looks on that red carpet, all her personal styles. Um, so please welcome Dionne Smith and just tell me a little bit about, well, introduce yourself, a little bit about what got you into hair and just kind of like that creative aspect and a little bit of your journey.
Sure. So, hi guys, my name is Dionne Smith, as introduced. And I've been in the hair game for over 20 odd years. I know people always say you don't look old enough, but I literally have. I kind of fell into it. It wasn't like I didn't like it wasn't something I planned as a young person where I said, "Oh, I'm going to be a hairstylist when I grow up." It was never that. It was like hair just kept pulling me and pulling me and pulling me. And I say that because I've got two younger sisters, and my dad is from Jamaica, and he's very traditional. Like the older sister has to take care of the younger sister. So one of my actual chores was every single week I had to wash and plait my sister's hair for school. So that was like, as the older sister, every Sunday, that was what I had to do. So I was doing that every Sunday. And then it kind of just went from sisters to sisters' friends to the neighbors to the people at the school until I sort of like just started to build up a clientele. And then I started doing hair from home. And then one of my clients actually gifted me some money to go into my first salon. And then I went into my first salon. It was just such a, like, I can't explain it. It was just like a natural journey. And then when I went into my salon, a famous makeup artist was coming in and she was getting her hair done. And then she was like, "Hey, you're so amazing. I want to introduce you to my agent." And I was like, "What's that?" And then she started explaining about session styling and freelancing because I had no idea about it. I was just like, "Oh, I'm a hairdresser. I'm in a salon. I've got my salon. It's amazing." Didn't realize there was a whole other world outside of the salon. And when you think about it, you're like, "Oh, actually, of course, that makes sense." Because everything you see, the hair and makeup has to be done. So it kind of just happened like that. So it just naturally, I just fell into it.
Oh,
But I love it.
yeah, and you have to. I feel like it's so much the details and stuff like that. And I think a lot of the back breaking, hard work, standing on your feet, it's it's a lot, but when you see the amazing work that you do, it's just like, oh wow, I did that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
it really is. And I think one of the things that also fills me and brings a lot of joy is when the client looks in the mirror and they're pleased because it's like, oh my God, and they just feel it's almost like you see them turn into this other person. This whole alter ego comes out. It's like, who is this person now?
right. It's like
Nothing like feeling yourself and feeling good about it, you know?
right, like see you next time. I'm coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I totally understand about like where it starts with like the family, where it's like, yeah, that's your thing. Mine was a little different where I was like everybody's hairstylist because I did it on myself. And then
Right.
everybody was like, well, can you do this? And I'm like, I'm running away from this because I am not everybody's hairstylist. Like I was just trying to do my own hair. And
Right.
but it became in in retrospect, it's like, okay, you're perfecting this craft and it's literally a part of your journey now. But it was
Yeah.
something for me, I ran away from. Like I was just like, they was like, but
Right.
you do it good. I'm like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
I have aspirations because I feel like growing up, they made it seem so minute and not too much of like a career. So
Yes.
I didn't see it as that. So I was just like, I don't want to be a braider. I don't want to be a hairstylist. But then I was like, I put that creative spin on it. And I was like, oh, I actually do now like this, you know.
Right. Right.
So I completely get it. And because we're pressed on time, let's get into the questions.
Yes.
Um, so again, thank you for sharing your journey and like what led you to here, and of course the fact that you're passionate about it. And we're just gonna bring textured hair to the spotlight, right? You've styled so many iconic women in entertainment. How was the demand for textured hair representation? How has it changed in fashion and beauty industry over the years? And what does this shift mean for both stylists and clients?
I think one of the things what was quite great and was when the whole natural hair movement started sort of happening, where people were like, oh, you know, relaxers started to decline, people more wanted to do more of their own textures, and they weren't coming in for relaxers and perms anymore. It was like, hey, what can we do with what I've been given? And I thought that was quite, it took a while, but then there was kind of like this big boom, and it was like just everywhere. Everyone was like embracing textures and coils and curls, and it was amazing. And one of the things that I kind of set out to do was to make it amazing, like show people that yes, you can have coils and curls and it can be styled as is. It doesn't have to be completely straight to be styled. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We like a slick up every now and then, but curls and coils can be styled, you know? So I feel like I kind of set out on that journey. And one of the things that led me to do that was a lady that was getting married. Long story short, she went to several hairstylists. They were all telling her she had to straighten her hair, never permed her hair in her life, wanted to be married how she looked, but just a bit more elevated. And she landed, you know, she found me and I was able to do that. And she literally like cried. And I was like, oh my God, is this a thing? And then I just set out and I was like, right, natural, 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 almost to my own detriment, because now I'm like sort of like the natural hairstylist. But no, I'm a hairstylist that styles all hair. But yeah, and I think it's just been really great that people are embracing texture. Celebrities are wearing it on the carpet. Roll back how many years, you would have never seen that. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think like it's really nice. And also that pressure for even like the younger generations, younger brown girls coming up, textured hair girls coming up, where it's like, well, actually, I can wear my curls and I can wear it on the carpet, and it is sexy and it is lovely and it is beautiful. So I think that it just plays such a big part that we are embracing texture the way we are these days. It's amazing.
Yeah, especially on a wedding day, right? Like there's people who give that false or that myth where it's like you have to straighten your hair and you have to be this other person. And you're like, no, like I think I'm okay with what I have and what I look like. And that's for those people who don't want to know other textures or know how to do other things. But
Right.
of course, you found your niche where it was like, yeah, I do that, and I believe that you should be happy with what you want. So
Exactly.
thank you for that, and I'm pretty sure her wedding was like amazing. Uh,
It was.
oh wait, I do not want to. I know we have other questions, but when we talk about wedding hairstylists, I don't
Yeah.
know if you've seen that thing going on TikTok where it was like that. I believe she was the makeup artist or the TikToker who was literally crashing the wedding. I don't know if you've seen that. She,
Yeah.
she was crashing weddings, and then there was just like, this is not the etiquette of like a hairstylist or a beauty professional. Like you're supposed to do it and then leave. Or they invite
Oh, so she wanted to stay on.
she was staying on in her outfit, like she was in every photo in the background. Yeah, and they were just like with sweatpants. I think she had like t-shirt and stuff like that all in the wedding. And I was
Right.
like, beauty professionals, no.
Yeah, no. That's yeah, no. No. We don't do that. So I mean
No,
there is etiquette, and I think yeah, yeah. But that's just a no. It just doesn't, we don't do that. Do
no,
you know
no.
what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
come back.
No. Yeah. It's called do and go for a reason. The go means something. Do and go.
Exactly. Unless
Yeah.
you're there for a next look and you have to look the part. Like you can't the wedding part and
Right. Right.
wearing whatever or sneakers and stuff like that. It's weird. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
It is.
So, okay, now with maintaining, we spoke a little bit about that with your wedding client, but maintaining natural hair health. One of the things you're known for is your focus on maintaining health in on natural hair while achieving creative looks. What advice do you give stylists on balancing artistry with hair care, especially when working with textured hair?
I think one of the main things that artists I kind of put out a lot is just the tight, it being too tight. So although you can style hair, there's ways that you can style hair that it looks like it's super slick and it's not actually tight, and it takes a little bit more work. But even things like putting someone's hair up into a ponytail, instead of trying to scrape all of the hair up all at once, like do it in maybe 2 or 3 sections, because then it's less pressure on the hair. So I think that's kind of like what I kind of focus on the most. Like, you don't have to be ripping someone's hair out to achieve a really nice slick look. And then outside of that, it's just little things like if you're wearing braids and cane rows, getting treatments in between, having regular breaks in between is great as well. Try not to braid your hair in the same direction all the time, so it's constantly pulling in the same direction. So alter your braids. There's just little things that people just need to know and understand that will help. We all love our textured hair, we all love our protective styles, but it has to be done safely. And I think once people understand like how to care for the hair and giving it regular breaks and making sure you have treatments and maintaining your hair, it makes a huge difference.
Thank you so much for speaking more on like that painless part. Like I'm big on painless hair and painless braiding because I feel like in hair care or beauty, like it doesn't have to be painful, like, and you should be able to enjoy it, right? Like you shouldn't be like, let me pop a pill real quick or I can't sleep. And you're like, what? Like that shouldn't be something that we sit down. It's supposed to be a good time. When
Yeah.
your hair done, you can connect with your stylist, like you're happy your stylist like you. And usually people who like you are not trying to hurt you. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And that's a really good tip with parting in sections, especially because sometimes the ponytail can be irritating.
Yes.
They're like, I can't get to right here. And it ends up with scabs
Right.
and things like that. So definitely that. And now we're going to talk about styling icons and the pressure of perfection. So, working with high profile clients often comes with the pressure of perfection. How do you approach creating standout looks while maintaining your client's confidence and individuality?
So I go in when I work with my clients. I do a lot, and I think that's probably why a lot of my clients feel quite safe with me, because I look at everybody individually, like who is Golda, who is Leanne Pinnock, who is Sarah Naz, who are these people that I work with? What is their vibe? So I first of all I look at that, and then it's always a collaborative effort. So you always involve like the makeup and the stylist, and the stylist as in the clothes, the fashion stylist that styles them, they kind of weigh in quite heavily in terms of like what they think will work. And then sometimes we'll just be shooting back and forth like looks. And I always create like mood boards. So I'm always like, okay, I think this will work for this particular outfit. I'll get all the outfits from the stylist and I'll pair it with like 2 or 3 options of hair. And then once I get like the okay, I'll put my own spin on that hairstyle. Sometimes I'll recreate my own hairstyles and change it slightly so it's like unique to the person. But it's not everything that suits everybody. And I think as well, people need to understand that it's like head shapes, face shapes, if they're wearing a high neck, if they're wearing a low neck, if it's off shoulder, like every aspect of it kind of needs to work. But I think, again, that does come with like experience, looking on the carpets, looking at what looks amazing, like doing the research, putting that effort in. Because I always feel like if you put the time in the beginning, it just makes your life a lot easier in the end, rather than trying to figure it out on the day or figure it out in that moment. Like I'm a little bit OCD with preparation. I'm always prepared. I have been caught out a few times in my earlier times, and then those things are like, right, it's never going to happen again. So I'm like always over prepared. And even if I've said, okay, I'm going to style your hair like this, I'm still going with options because I might get it on a day and you're like, well, actually, I want to, and I need to be prepared for that. I want to. So I think because of that, and because of my clients, I work with them and I always deliver that service. They always feel like she's got me. She's ready for any situation. She's going to have it. She understands the assignment. So yeah, I tend to, get on quite well with that.
I mean, always being prepared, like,
Yeah.
and then it all is like someone, like maybe on the day of, they like, yes, I like this hairstyle, but I mean, on the day of, now they feel a little different mood wise. Like they just like, I want to put everything to the back, or I want to hide a pimple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's something that I don't want to
Exactly.
show. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now when we talk about mentorship and education, and thank you for being here because you're definitely educating not only my audience but me. And so You've been a trailblazer for stylists specializing in natural and textured hair. How important is mentorship in this industry, and what advice would you give up and coming stylists looking to break into high fashion and celebrity styling?
So I would definitely say you need to have a lot of patience. Like that's first and foremost, because I feel like in this age, like that is sort of gone out of the window. And I know because of social media, that's probably helped because you have access to people. You can see what's going on in people's lives. You can shoot them a DM and hope for the best. And I feel like because of that, that patience has kind of gone out the window a little bit. Where back in the day we were a lot more patient. We didn't know what was going on in people's lives. We didn't have Instagram. We couldn't like we didn't have access to people. So I just feel like to be a hairstylist, you definitely need to have that. Two, you need to be very organized, and always think about like what sort of things you're putting out. So in my earlier days, one of the things that I used to do a lot is I used to do a lot of free work. People don't want to hear that now because they're like, oh, I want to get paid for everything. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. But trying to build a book, if you think about hiring a photographer, hiring models, hiring makeup artists, because you want to show your craft, you want to show your skill. And I'm quite creative and I want to create all these wild things. And I'm like, well, for me to go and pay for a studio, hire a photographer, get a makeup artist, get models to create all these amazing looks, it's going to cost me a lot of money. And that's just one shoot. To build a book, you need, 20, 30 different things going on. So let me just jump on someone's shoot and offer the hair for free because I'm going to get all these amazing pictures. And I've just saved myself like $2,000 to $3,000. Do you know what I mean? So it was like that. So I had to do all of that. So I would say just be willing to work for free sometimes. Obviously, look at the crew, make sure no one's, trying to take the mic and stuff like that. But just be prepared to do that if you're building. Look at celebrities that you really like. Look at the kind of hairstyles they like. Recreate them. Post them on your page. Don't just post anything on your page either. Like be like intentional about what you're posting. Make sure it's like really good quality. I got a lot of feedback in my early days as well. Like, Dionne, oh my God, one of the things that we love about you, you always post quality. You don't just throw anything up. You know what I mean? And just be aware. Be aware what you're posting, what you're saying, how you're putting yourself out as a person and an individual. If you want to work in this kind of professional space, sometimes people vent. That's not necessarily a good thing. Keep that to yourself and your friends and your family at home. Don't do that publicly. Do you know what I mean? We all are humans. We all get tested, but keep that to yourself. And then I would just say tag celebrities, be like, I've just recreated the Rihanna blah blah blah, tag her in your post. She might see it, she might not like it, she might not like your post, she might not send you a message, but believe me, celebrities see everything. Magazines see, they look, they have people that are watching, and you never know who's watching you. Like I remember my first DM I got from Venus Williams PA saying, hey, Venus would like you to style her for Wimbledon. And then she started following me on Instagram, and I was like, is this the real? Oh yeah, it's the real Venus. She was like one of my first celebrities back in the day. And I said to her, how did you find me? Like, what made you choose me? She said, I saw one of your hairstyles and it wasn't on your page. And she said, who done this hair? And she literally traced it back to find me. And that's how she found me.
Yeah, they definitely are watching. And it's like you said, and what would kind of like turn them off, even if you have talent, is how you respond to clients by like venting or talking trash or anything like that about your experience. You be like, oh yeah, I can't, because when working with celebrities and high profile, you have to have like you don't have to sign an NDA, but just have that respect of like their time, what they're going through. It could have been a bad day. Like that patience is definitely key, because you'd be like, oh my God. And they'd be like, actually, I want to work with that person because they were very professional, even though I was BITC, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I totally agree 100% with that. And then I'm going to end this with the last three questions. It's like real fun. One would be, what is something that people are surprised to know about you? Two is, what book or resource you would recommend in this journey for anyone coming up? And how can people support and connect with you? That's three. And I'll repeat it if you need.
Yeah. So question one, and this always shocks people. So I'm actually a mother of three, and I'm actually a grandmother of two. So people always, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, yes.
So I'm a glam ma. That's the new phrase for the young grandmothers now. It's not grandmother, it's glammas. So I'm a glam ma. I have a 6-year-old granddaughter and I have an 8-month-old granddaughter. So I've got 2 granddaughters and I've got 3 boys, 130, 127, 124. 3. Yeah.
First of all, congratulations. And yeah, you don't look it. You look like in your like late 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear
Yeah.
that a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And you're so like, vibrant and happy. So that also definitely masks any type of like you've been here for how long? Because it's not. Like,
Right.
so the next would be what book would you recommend or resource?
Oh, books. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a reader. Like my mind, I'm such a creative that I can't sit still to like read a book. And if I start to read, my mind's going somewhere else. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm trying to read. So that's really hard for me. But I would just say one of the books that I found very useful when I was going through the as a hairdresser growing. I don't know if you've heard of her, a lady called Sandra Gittens. She's like almost in the UK, she's like one of those old school veterans for like hairstyling. She helped with like to write the curriculum for hairstylists. Like she's had quite a big role in like textured hair basically in this space. But she created a book. Oh God, I can't remember the name. I feel so bad.
I
It
can
was very useful. But Sandra Gittens, she's created a hair book and it's got like a lot of educational stuff in there, inspo, everything like that. She's amazing. That's a great book for anybody that is like interested in the textured hair space and trying to elevate in this space. They'll find it very useful.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. And if you said that she's been a veteran, I'm pretty sure it's like a lot of
Everybody knows her.
Okay, now the third is how can people support and connect with you?
So in terms of connecting with me and supporting me, I am on Instagram, so you can find me on my hair account, which is at Dionne Smith Hair. I also do a little bit of travel and lifestyle around my hair journey because I'm traveling all the time. So if you want to get a bit more into like, oh, what does she actually do, and get more like of the personal stuff, then that's at Dionne Smith Official. And in terms of support, just show love, give a little like, give a little comment every now and then. And if there's anything I can do for you guys, let me know. I do try to answer my DMs as much as possible. So yeah, if you want to shoot me a DM, feel free to do that. But yeah, that's how you can find me, guys.
Thank you so much. This is so amazing. I'm not too sure what you have in the works, but I'm pretty sure it's something amazing. So I'll keep an eye on that. And yes, thank you so much again for everyone tuning in and listening to Dionne Smith, based out in London. Okay. And for, being on this podcast where we're in New York. So this is amazing. Thank you and good luck with your amazing event that you're going to.
Yes, I'm gonna run off now. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a great
Take
day.
care.
Have a good one.